Hello, this is Steve Irwin, here to create a new Whole Hog 2 patching video, and we're going to get started with that right away. As you can see, we're using the Whole Hog 2 PC, so it's different, look a little different than what your Whole Hog 2 is. The layout buttons particularly will be just a little bit different here. But it's the same. It's very much the same. The buttons are the same in essence, and the windows are the same. And you'll just look for your buttons in slightly different areas. So to get started, as you can see, this is the main panel. We have our two touch screens, and we're going to start with this setup button. Okay, so you'll find your setup button, and this was a button that will change this menu. This is our main control bar menu that changes with various options as we go through and do different items. But you can see that this setup gives us our main control options. Right, and so as I say, this is our main control bar. It would save show, change show, so forth, but we're going to use that patch option here. Change to patch, and this opens up our patch window. Alright, and so the first thing you'll notice in the patch window is the DMX outputs. We have four outputs, 4 universes to be able to patch fixtures into. Alright? 4 universes that we can patch fixtures into, and these correspond to the outputs, the physical outputs on the back of your desk. Now notice that when I scrolled through these, I went to number 4, I can't see number 1 again, and that's what this scroll button is for. So if I want to scroll back, then just hit that scroll button, and that way I can see all of these again. Scroll through. If I touch 4, number 1 goes away. Just hit the scroll button and it'll take you back, and you're able to see 1 through 4 again. Alright. Each universe allows us to patch 1 through 512. So 512 channels worth of fixtures can go into each universe. Alright, and so you have to think about that. How many fixtures can I fit into each universe? We start by adding fixtures. That is the first step. We go into the Add Fixtures window, and you'll see that it is giving us this option. Now, of course, I'm using a mouse for all of this. You would be able to use your touch screen and be able to touch those buttons with your finger. Or you can also use the arrow keys to get around into Windows and be able to enter once you've arrowed onto a button. I'm going to just hit Add Fixtures, and then you can see that I can touch each manufacturer, and it shows me their available fixtures. As I say, you can scroll down through this with the arrow keys. Okay, I would touch over here, and then I could scroll down through using the wheel on my mouse. Or if I wanted, then I could arrow over there, arrow back and forth. You can see the little blue box barely around my option. I can arrow down now once I'm over there, and then I can get over, let's say, the Mac 2000, and you can see that they offer you various options. Like the Mac 250 has all the different modes, or at least a few different modes to choose from. You can make fixtures, you can add fixtures to the whole hog, but that's more of an advanced option, and you can read about that in the manual. Or ask about it online. But modes are usually something you'd want to read about in the manual for the fixture, all right, because this gives the fixture various options. so you need to know what mode you're using. This Mac 2K is just probably set at a standard mode, which is typically, I find on Martin's, it seems like it's mode 4. But we're going to use this Mac 2K just as our explanation for patching. And so for me to be able to tell it how many Mac 2Ks I'm going to use in my show, in my patching, then I have to come down and hit the set button. The set button, and you'll notice that I could also use on my keyboard the numlock button. All right, there's a keyboard quick key setup that you can look for in the manual, and it'll show you all those quick keys that you can use as well to mimic these keys on the whole hog. But if I hit the set button, okay, that gives me the ability to enter the amount of fixtures. So I'm going to tell it I'm going to get 12 of those. And then all I do is hit enter on the keyboard, all right, or enter in my field here, all right, and then I'll just say okay to that. Or of course I could continue entering fixtures. And so we might as well do that. I'll go over here to Clay Packy and we'll put in some alpha washes. All right, and so I'll come down and hit set, and we'll put in 6 of those, and I'll hit enter. All right, and so now we have 2 different types of fixtures. As I say, we could continue looking for other types of fixtures. We could enter whatever type of fixture we wanted, and then just say okay once we've told it all the fixture types that we're going to use. All right, once I've done that, then now I'm ready to patch. Okay, and it's going to actually begin with the first fixture type that I started with. So if I come down and hit 1, actually, I'm sorry, the last fixture type that I was working with. So it's going to the alphas. And so if I wanted to change that, I can just back up. I can delete that. And I'll just hit group, and that will allow me to choose which fixture type that I want to talk to when I'm patching. So I'm going to use the Mac 2Ks, and I'm going to say 1, and that says fixture 1 through fixture 12 at, and I'm just going to start these at 1, hit enter, and then that patches those automatically for me in sequence. And over here on this side, this shows me the actual DMX value, the DMX start address for these fixtures. This is actually where we would address these fixtures to. If we already had the fixtures addressed, I could have went through one at a time. Fixture 1 at 1, fixture 2 at 101, fixture 3 at 201, that type thing. You can patch any way you like. All right. Over here are the fixture numbers. So once we begin programming, this is all we think about is the fixture numbers. We don't have to think about these fixture start addresses any longer, the DMX addresses. We only think the fixture numbers. We only think of these as 1 through 12. All right? And so let's go over to, let's say, output 2. Now I could continue patching here just after my next available patch number, which would be somewhere after probably about 285. What are these? 24 channels each, something like that. And so I would have to add onto that and then start at the next available address. All right, so I'm just very easy. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go group. I'm going to go to my alpha wash. I'll say alpha wash 1 through 6 at 1. Hit enter. It will automatically patch those fixtures for me. Now all my alpha washes are on my output 2, so to speak. and all my Macs are on output 1, so my physical outputs, as well as the DMX universes. Um, the only other thing that I would have left to do is fill in my menus, my palette menus. A couple things to talk about are the various views, so I could change my views to fixture views, to channel views, so this breaks it down by individual channels. But we were looking at output views, and that's your most standard view. And so that you have various views. We can unpatch fixtures, obviously. We can edit fixtures. This gives us the ability to edit certain values. Again, these are things you would want to get into the manual to learn more about. I think the most used area of this option is inverting pans and tilts. But this is an option of editing fixtures. And again, you'd want to get more into the manual before you get into that if you really want to know what you're doing so you don't really mess up your fixtures. Absolute addressing just changes this from 1 through 512, 1 through 512. It just makes it so this starts at 513. This is really not much use unless you have somebody that wants to talk to you in those values. And again, you can learn about all these buttons in the menu itself. I mean, in the manual itself. So once I'm done, I really want to go to auto menus unless you want to make your own palettes and not have this filled in automatically. But we will go ahead and do that. Again, there's various options in here, just how many number of palettes per row, how your groups get filled in, how the color and beam palettes are generated and so forth. Again, you can read about all that in the manual. But if I hit generate menus, then it's going to automatically fill in these palettes for us, and it can make it quite simple so that all your color palettes and so forth for the Mac and the Alpha Wash is automatically created. So I'm going to generate menu. It automatically did it. It's that fast, particularly on the computer. And this button allows me to close windows, so I can just touch that or click it with my mouse. That'll close this window if I want to close this window, or this would maximize this window. This is for minimizing and maximizing. I'll just close the window over here. When I'm done with this window, I can close the patch window. You can see our bar, our control bar is back to normal rather than in that setup mode. It's back, as I say, to normal. If I come up and hit palettes, then it opens up the palettes window. This is our view bar. This is various views. We even have the ability to create some of our own views of various palette and windows configurations. All my groups are started for me from our auto menus. No positions, of course, but the colors are filled in. So if I wanted to do a quick programming, I could grab all my Mac 2Ks. I could even put them in a color. I could put those into a beam. I could even look at my programmer and see all of this happening. I could go to focus. This is how I change the wheels. See, I can just go up and down with my wheels when I'm using a mouse. You just scroll up and down, and that changed all these values. If I want to go to color and actually change and make it a specific color that I like, I can go like this. And then once if I want to record that, I would just come over to the record button, okay? And then I would just press the button over the fader bank. And you can see that starts a new cue list for me. If I'm done with my programming, I hit the clear, and then I can hit the go on that button. That activates that cue list. I can even look at the output window and see that actually created that cue on stage. You can see the alphas didn't do anything. Oh, I didn't even bring up intensity on those, and so I can even see that here. All right? And so you can learn how to fix those in another video, but at least this video shows you how to patch. Again, my name's Steve Irwin from lightingtrainer.com. I hope this was helpful, and with patching on the hog too, and you have a great day. Thank you.